Chakradhara Vase Ate Gauranchan Ratna Simhasanen Aroti Korenga Brahma Adi Devaganen Narari Adi Kori Kamaladulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Gosadigaya Sanka Baji Ganta Baji Baji Karatala Madhura Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasala Baho Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala Gala Dese Vana Mala Kore Jalamala Shiva Sukha Narada Preme Gadagada Bhakti Vinoda Dekhe Gaurara Sampada Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastatari Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Everyone can do their pranams. I'm going to say the prayers, and after each prayer I say, you say Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Pairajika Chaja A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Ananti Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Namacha Shahadas Thakur Ki Prem se Kaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Shashi Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Mayapur Vrindavan Dhama Ki Nilachala Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Ganga Devi Yaman Devi Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Samaveda Bhaktavinda Ki Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glory assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glory assembled devotees. All glory Shishi Guru and Shishi Gauranga. So we're going to pray to Lord Nrsimhadev. You can sit down for 5 minutes for protection. Okay.
Namaste Narashinhaya Praladadadayine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Singha parato na singho yato yato yami tato na singha bahir na singho hridaye na singho Nashingha Hridaye Nashingho Narashingha Madim Sharanam Prapaday Tava Kara Kamala Vare Nakha Adbhuta Shingha Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhinga Keshavadhita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tava Kara Kamala Vare Nakha Keshavadhita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, शिला प्रभुपाद की, गौर प्रेमानंदे.
Prasad is outside, there's also Bhagavad Gita class.
Okay, so Hare Krishna. So there is also prasadam outside, and there will be Bhagavad Gita class happening now. So if you would like to stay for that, yeah, that would be great. So prasadam is outside, and Bhagavad Gita class is here. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So today we're reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 9. Jaya Rad Amadava Kunja Bihari Amadava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Navalabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Udanandana Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakchurun Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitanyena Bhutaye Swayam Rupa Kadadmayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam. Sadhavetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we're reading from chapter 9, text 9. So, Naja mam tani karmani, Nibandanti Dhananjaya Udasina Vadasinam Ashaktam Tesu Karmasu. And just before we begin, okay, so Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I'd like to request the blessings of all the assembled devotees so that I may be able to speak something of relevance and which is worthwhile. Thank you. Nacham mam tani karmani nibandhananti dhananjaya udashina vajasi nam asaktam teshu karmasu. Nacha mam tani karmani nibandhanti dhananjaya udasina vadashinam ashaktam teshu karmasu. Yeah, if you like to. Nacha mam tani karmani nibandhanti dhananjaya udasina vadasinam ashaktam teshu karmasu. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. So, O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. And the purport. One should not think in this connection that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no engagement. In his spiritual world, he is always engaged. In the Brahma Samhita 5.6, it is stated, Atmara masya tasyati prakritya na samagamaha. He is always involved in his eternal, blissful, spiritual activities, but he has nothing to do with his material activities. Material activities are being carried on by his different potencies. The Lord is always neutral in the material activities of the creator world. This neutrality is mentioned here with the word udasinavat. Although he has control over every minute detail of material activities, he is sitting as if neutral. The example can be given of a high court judge. Someone is being hanged, someone is being put into jail, someone is awarded a huge amount of wealth, but still he is neutral. He has nothing to do with all that gain and loss. Similarly, the Lord is always neutral, although he has his hand in every sphere of activity. In the Vedanta Sutra 2134, it is stated, Vaishyamya Nargranena. He is not situated in the dualities of this material world. He is transcendental to these dualities, nor is he attached to the creation and annihilation of this material world. The living entities take their different forms in the various species of life according to their past deeds, and the Lord doesn't interfere with them. So we see in this material world that there's so many things going on. People might ask, why is this happening? Why do you do this, God, and what's the reason for this? So people are looking for answers, and sometimes they like to put the blame towards God as to why the world is like this. But from the scriptures we can see that this world is and from our practical experience, that this world is a place of duality, where there's both good and there's bad as well. And it says that the Supreme Lord is situated as though neutral. So we all know about the law of karma. So this is the law of God. It's beyond any man-made law. So this law will take effect regardless of whether we try and interfere. It's for every action there is a reaction. So this is actually the Lord's mercy, because the Lord is putting this karma here so that we can actually begin to question why are these things happening, why is the world the way it is. So this is the Lord's mercy, so we can actually seek for the answers in life. This is a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 28. Eti chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakalam Lokam Mridyanti Yuge Yuge. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. So we can see that when the balance goes in one direction, when there is what would be called a negative disturbance, that the Lord will actually either incarnate himself or send his plenary portions, which means his representatives. And these all representatives. It's stating here that they all emanate from Lord Sri Krishna. So it's described as like a candle. That Lord Sri Krishna is like the original candle. And then all these other manifestations, they all come from that original candle. In this particular stanza, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, it is distinguished from other incarnations. He is accounted amongst the avatars, incarnations, because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatar means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend to the different planets of the material world, as also in the different species of life, to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different plenary portions are parts of the plenary portions, or his differentiated portions, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend to this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. So Krishna is what's described as the original fountainhead, and everything emanates from Krishna. So Krishna yet remains aloof, just by his energies. Every other being is actually empowered, and nothing can actually operate without the sanction of the Supreme. So this is a verse from chapter 9, text 5. Nacha matstani bhutani pastya me yogam asvaram bhuta bim nacha bhuta sto ma matma bhuta bhavana. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, still myself is the very source of creation. The Lord says that everything is resting on him. This should not be misunderstood. The Lord is not directly concerned with the maintenance and sustenance of this material manifestation. Sometimes we see a picture of Atlas holding the globe on his shoulders. He seems to be very tired, holding this great earthly planet. Such an image should not be entertained in connection with Krishna's upholding this created universe. He says that although everything is resting on him, still he is aloof. The planetary systems are floating in space, and this space is the energy of the Supreme Lord. But he is different from space. He is differently situated. Therefore the Lord says, although they are situated on my inconceivable energy, still, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am aloof from them. This is the inconceivable opulence of the Lord. In the Vedic dictionary it is said, the Supreme Lord is performing inconceivably wonderful pastimes, displaying his energy. His person is full of different potent energies, and his determination is itself actual fact. In this way, the personality of Godhead is to be understood. We may think to do something, but there are so many impediments, and sometimes it is not possible to do as we like. But when Krishna wants to do something, simply by his willing, everything is performed so perfectly that one cannot imagine how it is being done. The Lord explains this fact. Although he is the maintainer and sustainer of all material manifestation, he does not touch this material manifestation. Simply by his supreme will, everything is created. Everything is sustained, everything is maintained, and everything is annihilated. There is no difference between his mind and himself, as there is a difference between ourselves and our present material mind. Because he is absolute spirit. Simultaneously, the Lord is present in everything, yet the common man cannot understand how he is also present personally. He is different from this material manifestation, yet everything is resting on him. This is explained here as Yogam Eshvaram, the mystic power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I wonder if there's any questions so far. Okay. So we know that the Lord is situated as though neutral, and everything is actually working in accord with the Lord's supreme will. But also we have our own independence. So the Lord gives us this independence because something that is said is that to be actually independent is that love can't be forced. So we have to have a natural love for God. And it's said that this is why we actually come here to the material world, is that we want to enjoy independently. So we want to actually experience our own independence. And in one sense, it's described as that we actually lord it over the material world, that we see ourselves as the proprietors and enjoyers. So this is our one fault that we have to overcome to actually open up that there is one supreme enjoyer and owner of everything. So we have to learn to actually to pay respect and to be grateful that everything is actually that we have is by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So in terms of the law of karma, this takes on, it's different when in terms of devotional service. When one actually starts to perform devotional service, this will actually change the karmic situation. So it's mentioned that there's different types of karma. There's good karma, there's bad karma, and then there's what's called a-karma. So this a-karma is that there's action, but it's seen as inaction. So this means that when one is actually in devotional service and then they get free from the actual action and reaction of karma, and the Lord arranges their karma specifically for their own personal growth. And this will actually help us to have a deeper relationship with Krishna. So here's a text from chapter 12, text 15. Yasman nad vijate loko, loka nad vijate chaha, harm sarm sa bayo vegir, mukto ya sacha me priya. He for whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anxiety, who is steady in happiness and distress, is very dear to me. A few of a devotee's qualifications are further being described. No one is put into difficulty, anxiety, fearfulness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee. Since a devotee is kind to everyone, he does not act in such a way to put others into an anxiety. At the same time, if others try to put a devotee into anxiety, he is not disturbed. It is by the grace of the Lord that he is so practiced that he is not disturbed by any outward disturbance. Actually, because the devotee is always engrossed in Krishna consciousness and engaged in devotional service, all such material circumstances cannot woo him. Generally, a materialistic person becomes very happy when there is something for his sense gratification and his body. But when he sees that others have something for their sense gratification and he hasn't, he is sorry and envious. When he is expecting some retaliation from an enemy, he is in a state of fear. And when he cannot successfully execute something, he becomes dejected. But a devotee is always transcendental to all these disturbances. Therefore, he is very dear to Krishna. So this is where it becomes personal. It is that one will actually have a relationship with Krishna, and we become dear to Krishna because a devotee will actually reawaken their original relationship with Krishna, but also they will actually preach Krishna's message and to help and to save the fallen conditioned souls. So I wonder if there's any questions at this point. Okay. So I'm going to read a story. This is from the pastimes of Krishna. So it's called the Brahmana Sudama, benedicted by Lord Krishna. And this is an example of a devotee who is very not disturbed, very tolerant and humble, and actually is very, very dear to Krishna. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the super soul of all living entities, knows actually. So, just to recap, just again, the title is the Brahmana Sudama, benedicted by Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the super soul of all living entities, knows very well everyone's heart. He is especially inclined to the Brahmana devotees. Lord Krishna is also called Brahmana Deva, which means that he is worshipped by the Brahmanas. Therefore, it is understood that a devotee who is fully surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead has already acquired the position of a Brahmana. Without becoming a Brahmana, one cannot approach the Supreme Brahman, Lord Krishna. Krishna is especially concerned with vanquishing the distress of his devotees, and he is the only shelter of pure devotees. Lord Krishna was engaged for a long time in talking with Sudamana Vipra about their past association. Just then, to enjoy the company of an old friend, Lord Krishna began to smile and asked, just to point out that Sudamana Vipra was in school with Krishna when Krishna was, as he was young. Then, just to enjoy the company of an old friend, Lord Krishna began to smile and asked, "My dear friend, what have you brought for me? Has your wife given you some nice eatables for me?" While he was addressing his friend, Lord Krishna was looking upon him and smiling with great love. He continued, "My dear friend, you must have brought some presentation to me from your home." Lord Krishna knew that Sudama was hesitating to present him the paltry chipped rice, which was actually unfit for his eating. And understanding the mind of Sudama Vipra, the Lord said, "My dear friend, certainly I am not in need of anything, but if my devotee gives me something as an offering of love, even though it may be very insignificant, I accept it with great pleasure. On the other hand, if a person is not a devotee, even though he may offer me very valuable things, I do not like to accept him. I actually accept only things which are offered to me in devotion and love. Otherwise, however valuable the thing may be, I do not accept it. If my pure devotee offers me even the most insignificant things, a little flower, a little piece of leaf, a little water, but saturates the offering in devotional love, then I not only gladly accept such an offering, but I eat it with great pleasure. Lord Krishna assured Sudama Vipra that he would be very glad to accept the chipped rice, which he had brought from home. Yet out of great shyness, Sudama Vipra hesitated to present it to the Lord. He was thinking, how can I offer such insignificant things to Krishna? And he simply bowed his head. Lord Krishna, the Super Soul, knows everything in everyone's heart. He knows everyone's determination and everyone's want. He knew therefore the reason for Sudama Vipra's coming to him. He knew that, driven by extreme poverty, he had come there at the request of his wife, thinking of Sudama as his very dear class friend. He knew that Sudama's love for him as a friend was never tainted by any desire for material benefit. Although Krishna thought, Sudama has not come asking anything from me, but being obliged by the request of his wife, he has come to see me just to please her. Lord Krishna therefore decided that he would give more material opulence to Sudama Vipra that could be imagined even by the King of Heaven. He then snatched the bundle of chipped rice, which was hanging on the shoulder of the poor Brahmana, packed in one corner of his wrapper, and said, "What is this?" "My dear friend, you have brought me nice palatable chipped rice." He encouraged Sudama Vipra, saying, "I consider that this quantity of chipped rice will not only satisfy me, but will satisfy the whole creation. It is understood that this statement for Krishna, being the original source of everything, is the root of the entire creation. As watering the root of the tree immediately distributes water to every part of the tree, so an offering made to Krishna, or any action done for Krishna, is to be considered the highest welfare work for everyone. Because the benefit of such an offering is distributed throughout the creation, love for Krishna becomes distributed to all living beings." Okay, so just before we finish up, I wonder if there's any questions. Yes, Edwin Boo.
There is a way to notice when we are developing this, because it's different when we are offered to Krishna than when we want to something material, like the example in this story. So there is a way to develop this desire to offer directly to Krishna without thinking material benefits.
Oh, how we can actually become desireless of material. So we have to actually practice devotional service. So we have to actually, in our day-to-day life, we have to become more conscious of Krishna. So we have to do things for Krishna's satisfaction, and naturally we'll become cleansed. So it's mentioned that there's different stages. One is in the Vedas, the Karma Kanda section, which is for fruitive activities. And these are for actual material enjoyment. And this is how to actually fulfill material desires and then actually become elevated. And then beyond that, then there's Karma Yoga, which is like good actions, performing good works, but one still has material desires, but is not seeking to fulfill them, but to try and actually serve and overcome the material desires. So, and then beyond that, Jnana Yoga, which is about philosophical speculation and true knowledge as well, to actually realize that Krishna, our God, true knowledge. But it's said in devotional service, when one takes the devotional service, the Karma Yoga aspect is still there in one sense, that the devotee might not be necessarily free from material desires. So one has to just be tolerant, and be sincere, and practice and to continue to cultivate what's called the Bhakti Lata Beej, which is the seed of devotional service, which will sprout and grow. Yeah. Yeah, it's a process. It doesn't happen instantaneously. Yeah. Thank you, Boo. Yeah. Yes.
You need to develop this thing that you are offering something which is given by him to you, right?
Yes.
Because you cannot do anything without his grace.
Yes.
Right? So you are offering something, and how can you give a bride to him who has given things to you?
Yes.
So it has to be very pure when you are offering something. Even if you just stand in front and join your hand, that love is more than some gold and some this and some that. The divine just needs your love.
Hmm.
And his blessing is always with us. It's just we need to recognize whether we are able to see it or not. Right?
Yes.
It's always there.
Yeah, it's described that when Krishna was visiting a house, and this pious lady was very anxious in front of the Supreme Lord, and they opened a banana and gave him the peels without the actual banana, and it was fully satisfied because it was saw the devotion behind it. And
That's during the Mahabharata
oh,
when Krishna goes to the Hastinapur as a peace messenger. Right?
yes,
He's saying, I don't have the war because it's going to destroy everything. And then he goes to one of the saints, one of the ministers. His name is Vidu. He goes to his house
yes,
for the dinner.
yes,
And the wife of Vidu, she is, passive devotee of Shri Krishna.
yes,
So when he's feeding,
yes,
he is out of devotion. He's feeding banana, as you said.
yes,
He forgets to give the banana, but gives the peel to Krishna. And Krishna has a face and eats it. Right? And they both just go into his feet. He says, no, this is given to me out of utter love. It is enough for me.
yes.
It's just like that. Another example, if I may say.
Yes, I can give you a microphone if you like, because okay.
So another example is when
Oh no, and just because there may be some maybe listen online, so it just I can give you a microphone in case it. Okay, yeah.
so another example which I can recall is when Pandavas were in their 12 years exile. During that time, one of the rishis, Durvasa Rishi, he was around, and he comes to Pandavas when they were living.
Yes,
And he said after taking bath,
yes,
all the rishis came over and they were very hungry and they need
yes,
food, right?
yes,
And Pandavas, because they were in the exile, they were kind of collecting things, begging, and they took in food. They didn't have much, right? So
Yes.
Draupadi, the wife,
yes,
she was praying that Durvasa Rishi is coming with all his kind of, other rishis,
yes,
and how can I feed him? How can I feed them?
yes,
And she just starts praying to Krishna.
yes,
Krishna comes, and in the bowl there is just one grain of rice. Right? So Krishna says, "Is there anything to eat?" Draupadi says, "I have got just one grain of rice." And he says, "That's enough. So what should I do?" So Draupadi says, "Arna, can you please eat half and feed half to the world?" Krishna just takes it, eats it, and he says, "I'm satisfied." And the rishis they were all satisfied. They
Yes.
think suddenly,
Yeah.
what happened? It's like I'm full, and they don't even come to the hut.
yes,
Right?
yeah.
So this is one of the devotion, right? When you are offering him even a single grain, he is satisfied completely.
Yes,
See, you don't have to offer this, that, whatever. It's just whatever your feelings, your devotion, that is more than enough.
Just a closing remark. It said that in terms of offering to Krishna, that Krishna doesn't need anything. So it's like if a child draws a picture to his a picture and shows it to his mother. And no matter what it is, the mother will appreciate it because of the purity and honesty of the child that pleases his mother. So it's similarly with Lord Krishna, that we can't actually give him anything that he has everything already, but he sees the intent in that sense. Yeah. So thank you very much. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All assembled devotees ki jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru. Hare Krishna. No, it's fine. Well, maybe a little. Yeah. Just to take back some of these things.
Where?
This one goes on the Vyasa